Like a rash that just won't respond to medication, internet piracy is one of those things that will never go away completely. But for a time, it seemed like the movie and music industries had found a pretty good way to reduce it. Everyone and their dog had a low-cost, convenient subscription to Netflix for TV and movies and to Spotify for music. And times were good. But recently, piracy is suddenly back on the rise. Why? I mean, it's not like the streaming services themselves are becoming less popular. In fact, last year, Netflix usage overtook cable TV subscriptions, as it was estimated that 76% of US consumers were subscribed to Netflix, compared to only 67% on cable. But at the same time, traffic on BitTorrent has surged. And while there are uses for torrenting other than piracy, let's be honest, it's been one of the go-to services for people sharing content illegally for quite some time. So what's behind this then? Well, funnily enough, the streaming services are currently in the process of making the exact same mistakes that the cable industry did in years past. Ever since Valve launched Steam for games, it's been widely accepted that the surest way to curb piracy is to make paying for content affordable and more convenient than stealing. But here's the rub. When you pay for a streaming subscription, you're not just paying for the small handful of shows or movies that you actually want to watch. You're paying for that service's entire catalog. And part of the reason that people have been abandoning cable is that they don't want to pay $100 a month for 200 channels that they don't care about. Now, your average streaming service is only 10 or 15 bucks a month. And with the variety that they've traditionally provided, people found them much more palatable and their popularity exploded. The issue now is that both affordability and variety are under fire. The reason is that content producers don't want to share their revenue with a third-party platform. And while Netflix is known for producing its own catalog of original shows, most of its offerings are still from other rights holders that have licensed Netflix to carry their shows and movies, with Netflix getting a cut of the profit. So recently, many license holders have said to themselves, hey, why are we giving Netflix a cut when we could just launch our own streaming service and keep all the revenue for ourselves? And you know what? Yeah, I can see why that might be enticing. After all, if the customer paid 10 or 15 bucks to watch movies once, why wouldn't they do it again? And then again, and then again? Well, therein lies the issue. This approach has changed the streaming marketplace to one dominated by Netflix, and to a lesser extent Hulu, to one where tons of services are popping up with rather popular exclusives only available on one first-party platform. Want to watch Game of Thrones? Well, it's an extra 15 bucks a month for HBO Now, even if Game of Thrones is literally the only thing on the platform you care about. Fan of the Grand Tour? Better get that Amazon Prime Video. Star Wars fan? Don't miss Disney's upcoming Disney Plus. So then, with all of these options, you can see how easily $10 or $15 a month can turn into $60 or $75 or even more, depending on how many of these fragmented streaming services that you need to subscribe to in order to see all your favorites. And then at that point, we can see why people might begin to explore other options. The cost is now getting close to a cable subscription and a freaking TiVo box. What year is it? And as for the convenience, well, that's where we can see how going back to piracy could certainly seem appealing. Even if you can afford it, keeping up with all those different services can be a massive pain compared to having one site that's your one-stop shop. With larger media companies seeming to be mostly on the cut out the middleman train, it looks like the only thing that might reverse this trend is them taking an actual hit to their bottom line. So I'm going to be interested to see how the next couple of years play out. Until then, it might be worth putting an extra few dollars a month in the cookie jar if you really can't get enough of Stranger Things. Speaking of cookie jars, you're going to want Pulseway in your toolkit, which is not a cookie jar, don't worry about it. Pulseway is a real-time remote monitoring and management software that helps you fix problems on the go by sending commands from any mobile device. It's compatible with Windows, Mac, and Linux, and Pulseway's single app gives you remote desktop functionality, so you can get access to real-time status, system resources, logged-in users, network performance, Windows updates, and more. With Pulseway, you can create and deploy custom scripts to automate your IT tasks. You can scan, install, and update all your systems on the go, and you can try it out for free at pulseway.com or through our link in the video description. So thanks for watching, guys. Like, dislike, check out our other videos, leave a comment if you have a suggestion for a future video, and don't forget to subscribe and follow.